Right, time now for the AM news. The Ashanti Region Police have moved to Santasi Kokobeng to investigate the robbery incident that led to the death of a private security guard. This is the latest in a series of robbery incidents and gruesome murders in the region. We'll bring you more on this story shortly, but first, let's take a look at a catalogue of incidents reported from the Ashanti region this year alone. The latest is the Santasi Kokobeng incident. The night security man, 49-year-old Botumpim, and was found with stab wounds and his hands tied behind him at his duty post. The robbers are alleged to have bolted with a cash amount of 97,000 cedis and a power generator from 2 shops they robbed. But there's a July incident where 24-year-old Angela Juma was attacked at Maxima Junction in Kumasi, and it's suspected that there were armed robbers involved. She was shot and killed. In September, final year student of Opong Memorial SHS Richard Epia was also stabbed by some youth of Kokofu. He died as well. The latest we have on that is 3 teenagers have been arrested in connection with that murder. In October, a Tonsu branch of the Adansi Rural Bank in Kumasi was attacked, also by armed robbers. Now, 37-year-old Alex Opoku-Chinefo, a private security man, was shot. He was later found dead the following morning with his hands and legs tied behind him. And then again in October, a man attacks 3 people in 2 days. So he saw his best friend dating his fiancée in a dream. One of the 3 died after enduring pains from machete wounds. 47-year-old man, Kweju Edusei, was the suspect in that case. In October again, a pregnant woman at Nyancheniase was stabbed multiple times by his husband in the presence of the 6-year-old son. 44-year-old Maxwell Bwedu is alleged to be the suspect. In this case, the woman died. Again in October, a woman inflicted machete wounds in the head and lower abdomen of her son in the presence of 3 other children. The 30-year-old Hannah Kuya Ifrie was the suspect in that case. Then, in that case, there was a death involved. The suspect has been arrested and referred to the Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital for assessment. So the latest is a Santasi Kokobeng incident. The night security man, 49-year-old Botumpim Ando, was found with stab wounds and his hand tied behind him at his duty post. The robbers are alleged to have bolted with cash of 97,000 cedis and a power generator from 2 shops they robbed. Lava FM's Erastus Sasaradonko has more.
The late Ando Bosumpim washed vehicles in the day and worked as a night security man. I've worked with him for 10 years. We've all been here washing vehicles.
We understand that when they came in this morning, this iron garage gate had been broken and was suspended up here. The door has also been forcibly opened. You could see blood on the floor in front of the shop here, signaling that they might have killed him in front of the shop and dragged him inside the shop because the body was found lying in here with blood spread all over the floor of the shop here.
Oti Steven is manager of A2 Enterprise, dealers in aluminium products. I was told this morning that robbers have broken into my shop. When they called me, I told them to call the police. The gates had been opened when we got in. My security man had been killed and dragged inside the office. He was lying in this pool of blood. They took away a safe containing money and a power generator.
And when they found him, his hands had been tied with a piece of cloth, which is lying in front here. And then he had been gagged in the mouth with a scarf, which is also lying here with blood on it. And there was blood all over the floor, as you can see right now. So the body was lying over here.
Upstairs, the suspected robbers are alleged to have broken into this private ECG and Ghana water vending shop and made away with 8,000 cedis. Maxwell Menu is the attendant here.
Yeah, no more. One for Monsan can be beer, but you see, the remaining money 8,000 Ghana cedis.
They stole monies valued at 8,000 cedis. They include ECG and Ghana Water funds stored in these drawers.
Yeah, you keep on so 7 months transfer and send their command run. So you buy no way, I'm up draw and Nimi and sending any no my door, my scam.
Cocoa Bay, I can't Achuma woman, man come home. And near me, Badinye, and near day, a more dear city than yet. If he said, a boy, ya, Miss Rabo, Achuma woman, man come home.
Tia bompa si via bane be boy nan ke bia o ba bo checkpoint bia ma ye ne o area na visa ha kakre ho chire.
This is what we have gathered so far. The police have been here. They've taken the body away and investigations have begun. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
Now, President Akufo-Addo has reiterated his resolve to ensure reliable, stable power supply in the country, saying electricity must be seen as a basic necessity enjoyed by Ghanaians everywhere. He is convinced ongoing improvement in power supply will permanently erase doomsday from the Ghanaian society. Commissioning the 330 kilovolts of power at the Pokwasi bulk supply point, estimated at $47 million. The president said government's quest to develop the country through industrialization will not succeed if electricity supply is not guaranteed.
Project which not only gives us the assurance of stable power supply, but also reminds us of how far we have come from the days of widespread power outages and the phenomenon of doomsday, which brought us so much discomfort and inconvenience and brought businesses to their knees. Those were truly dark days, literally speaking, and we must continue to keep them behind us. Ladies and gentlemen, any country that aspires to industrialize with the overarching goal of guaranteeing a decent quality of life for its people must ensure that its citizens have access to stable, efficient, and affordable power supply. Electricity is no longer a luxury, but rather in this age, a basic necessity. And we must commit ourselves to working hard to ensure that we achieve universal coverage in this country as soon as possible to spur economic growth. The Akufo-Addo government remains fully committed to ensuring safe, stable, and affordable power supply in this country. As we focus on realizing the Ghana Beyond the Date agenda, which has industrialization as its crown jewel, it is imperative that we pursue this goal with dogged determination to help ensure that every nook and country of this country has access to electricity as soon as possible as the main driver of our vision. I'm confident that we are on the right path, and with God on our side, I believe strongly that we shall succeed in this enterprise.
The project funded by the United States government through the Millennium Development Authority is the largest in the country. Deputy Energy Minister Dr. Amina Adam said though there are challenges, the ministry is working to ensure a resilient power sector.
It is a proud achievement that will no doubt bring so much relief to consumers within its catchment area. But beyond Pokwasi, I am also happy to report that the Kasua bulk supply point project is finalized, providing further assurances of stable and reliable power supply to consumers. Across board, in the power generation, transmission, and distribution areas, we are working hard to ensure synergy between the three. And this project is ample testimony of the work we are doing to develop the linkages between these three sectors, so we can prevent technical and financial losses, and to ensure that challenges such as power theft are eliminated or cut down to the barest minimum. Negotiations on power purchase agreements with the independent power producers are also underway to ensure the taxpayer gets value for money. In renewable energy, ladies and gentlemen, we continue to make strides towards ensuring viability in our energy mix, whilst ensuring that the integrity of our environment is preserved.
The paramount chief of the Aflao traditional area, Togbi Jonu Gaga Amenya Fiti, has given the government a 4-month ultimatum to operationalize the abandoned E-Block Community Day Senior High School in his community. The school, which is almost 90% complete, has some 26 classrooms and 5 departments, including a science block. Construction has stalled since 2016. Speaking to the minority side on the Education Committee, who are on tour of the abandoned E-Blocks, the chief demanded the operationalization of the school by the next academic year.
After senior high education, primary to the senior high education, the next degree that my people have to do is to go to border and go and do Kayayo. No school. The only school that we have again is the RC Senior High School that belongs to the Catholic Mission. And it's now a minor seminary. So this thick population have no place to go. And people sit down in that big hall called Parliament without thinking of Aflao, a place after the Tema Harbour. The next revenue generation is from Aflao border. It's from Aflao border. And I have to push the former President Mahama for that structure to be constructed over there. I have to be running from here to Accra. Begging. Should we beg for education? No. There's something happening. If we have to beg for education before our people can go to school, then I don't know what is called a democracy at all. I look at the structure standing over there. 90% finished.
The Deputy Ranking on the Education Committee, Dr. Clementa Park, is also demanding a detailed breakdown of how the $1.5 million approved by Parliament to facilitate the completion of critical educational projects was used.
We have enough. I mean, you can imagine. It has now become a farm, abandoned. People are harvesting. You see, they say snakes, bandicoots, grass cutters, and you can see public resources wasted. And students are waiting to go to school. Our schools are overcrowded. Classrooms are overcrowded.
Yeah, so far, would you say this is the worst you've seen on this trip?
Well, it is only the worst because if you look at the magnitude of work and the physical environment, it's very depressing because tiling has been done, electricals have been fixed, plans were definitely in place to work on fixtures like windows and doors, and it has been abandoned. And we are being told that the last time a contractor showed up here was 3 years ago. And it is very clear, it's evident. Is that the best way to use public resources? Don't Ghanaians deserve better? Are we not punishing the future of this nation? Is it okay for us to have overcrowded schools when we have schools that can take in excess of 1,000 students each? Each of the E-blocks can take in excess of 1,000 Ghana students.
Now, on our Joy Clean Ghana campaign, AMA officials have stormed a pigsty operating illegally at Kamara in the Blukuma South district. For 30 years, residents in the area have had to endure the stench emanating from the pigsty in their vicinity, but lacked the courage to report the owners due to family ties. My colleague Judith Awuchetanda was with the team and reports owners are now being processed for court.
These are residential premises, and this is the pigsty. Less than 10 meters. You see, so this person will have problem. All of them here, they will feel the stench from this pigsty. And this pigsty have been there for some time now, which is not supposed to be there by our enactment or laws.
But have you issued any
yeah,
statement?
My people have been here several times. They issue several notices, notice upon notice on them. At time you come, you don't even see the owner. At time, by the time you come, they lock the gate. You cannot get access. And you can see how he was behaving there.
But he explained when he was having an argument with you that he has not received any notice,
no,
that they have not been told anything.
He's not telling the truth. We have issued notices upon notices to them.
But like over and fake ganjo jibo. Yeah, or be kejimoko. Kewa ke sandi name wa. Boy boncholi. Sandi name wa. Wo nyema ke bonoko.
Wo te onu sente.
Oh, sister. Sentene sando you one. Je no ko bibi. No anke ba ke nyema ke bonoko.
Well, one interesting thing we're realizing here is that a lot of people or a lot of residents are sort of living in fear because they are related to the owners, and so they are afraid to tell us what really is happening, or they're afraid to even report to the AMA or the police to do something about the situation. They've been living in fear for years now, over 30 good years. There are rearing pigs here and the stench is very bad. How does that make you feel as you're selling banku right by?
My sister, or no, any kunu for me, or can be good and you.
Just there be more complaints, but in female.
Yeah, my complaint, but on country.
Now, customers, now, how do they feel? It affects your mom?
I'm sure, yes. It affects your mom.
It's a self-pay government here, I mean, for about
and what may be on one, yeah, pay.
Okay. So Anti-Trust is telling us that they have been complaining for a while now, but nothing is being done because they are sort of related to the owners of this place. And this is affecting their business. Their customers complain of the stench when they buy their banku to eat. And so she's praying that the AMA could do something.
We are going to court to take an order to close down the pigsty, or they should relocate to a new place. A food premises. And look at where they are preparing food for sale to the public. This seriously compromises food safety laws.
So this is a food premises?
Yeah, this is a food premises. You can see this is stew for water or something. Look at the ground. The ground is not cemented. Look at those detrimental articles there, the foul droppings. And this is the fire or the oven. And look at the roof.
Ghana doesn't yet have a female team for Rugby League, one of the world's most followed sports. In Nima, a Zongo suburb in Accra, young Muslim girls are hoping to be part of the first players to make it into a female rugby team to be formed. In a largely conservative community where females face several hurdles pursuing a career in sports, their journey is one of hope and uncertainty. Joy News' Justice Bedu went to meet them.
Out! Scrum! Set!
Girls, hijab, and rugby. Quite an unusual mix. But here in Nima, these players are the poster girls for a future female rugby team in Ghana. This is a red earth park at Kaukudi Junction in one of Ghana's largest Muslim suburbs.
I'm Ida Amino. I was born at Mamobi.
Last try.
Ida Amino, 22 years old, lives in the slum and wants to make it into Ghana's first national rugby team for women. She studied catering in school and is unemployed now, but she is a talented rugby player.
Rugby is a nice game for my community. Muslims, when they see you going to training, where are you going? They see you, as a lady, you have to be at home helping mother or doing some house chores, but you are saying you are going to church. What are you going to do? Like, so, and I said, they will say, sports in Africa, like Ghana here, won't take you to anywhere. So my friend, just stop and find yourself doing something.
Knock on, green ball.
Rugby is a very, very physical game to play, and in Ghana, the sport is not even very popular relatively. If you live in a place like Nima, the pitches to play on are not even available. And if you are a girl in a very, very conservative area like this, there are even more hurdles to leap if you want to get onto the big stage. Like her, many girls in inner cities like Nima face a glass ceiling on their way up.
When I tell people that like I play rugby league, they'll be like, fresh girl like you are playing rugby. So your body be like, I'm very.
This team is barely a year old, but is already drawing many girls from far and near.
Turnover.
Rugby is a 15-a-side team sport.
Knock on. Turnover.
To score, a player must ground the ball behind an opponent's try line into what is called the in-goal area. Unlike football, it is played with both the hand and the leg.
A lot of the girls in the Zongo communities are already involved in one sporting activity or the other. We are looking forward to getting to the international level, but then we are taking baby steps. So we started with touch, we started with tag. Now we've been initiated into contact rugby, so we can play full contact games. So the next steps are to take coaching and officiating courses. Then we'll play more competitive, we'll recruit more ladies and play more competitively at club levels. Then we can proceed to form our own national team.
Like Ida, many of the girls in Nima hope to shatter the glass ceiling, hoping their baby steps here will be the needed springboard.
One, touch one.
Justice Beidou, Joy News, Nima.
That'll be all for the AM News. Up next, we're bringing you the news review. Stay tuned in. All right, so it's time for the news review, and I have been joined by Araba Kumsing. Good morning to you, Araba.
Oh, hi,
Israel.
Israel.
You're looking lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Is
it the red?
It's not just the red. I mean, it's the red in yourself and you.
You know what? Red always compliments, fair-colored girls. So it is what it is.
And your hair, and your lipstick. And
oh, really? It's makeup. People don't believe it's just makeup. After here, I'm going to wipe it.
Are you denying that you're a beautiful woman?
No, I'm not. It's Thursday. Is that what's gotten you in all this mood?
No, I mean, I'm just
really
excited
upbeat.
to have you. Just excited to have you
Oh,
on the show.
really?
All right, so let's get into the newspapers. Do you want to start?
Okay, so let me start with Daily Guide. I have the Daily Guide with me. And the man everyone is talking about, Shatawale. Shatawale and boys in police grip. Funny face cage for mental checkup. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide, Ghana's envoy to Italy dies, and it has the picture of Eudora Corte quarantine. Nana opens largest bulk electricity supply point, and towing levy debate returns. That's on the front page of the Daily Guide. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, CAF president in town hails Ghana, and 2 Ghanaians nominated as judges for the 9th WFC, that's the World Food Championships. And the 2 Ghanaians are Miss Annie Yaria Hiame and our very own Enoch Walanyo, also known as Wallace of Adom Sports. Wallace. I mean, can we see Wallace's picture? It's on the back page of the Daily Guide. Okay, so yes, that's Wallace there on your lower right, yes.
But why
Enoch,
food?
Why food though? Wallace likes food though. I know he
does.
likes food, yes. So I'm not surprised that he's a judge at the World Food Championship. So at the World Food Championship, what exactly happens?
I don't know. I guess people eat a lot.
Why didn't they call me to come?
Why? What role are you going to play there?
I had to eat the food, of course. Oh, Oh, so that's on the back page of the Daily Guide. On the page 3, that story of Shatta Wale and boys in police grip is in on page 3 of the Daily Guide. Let me just read a little bit for you. Controversial dancehall musician Charles Nima Mensah, popularly known as Shatta Wale, who staged being shot, is still in police custody. Okay, there were conflicting reports about whether he had been granted bail or he was still in police custody. Some officials had told us that he had been granted bail. Others now are saying that he's still in custody. So he and his boys are still in custody, and so his explanation to the police was that he felt threatened and he had to go into hiding because the police had failed to deal with the pastor who said he was going to be killed. He then admitted the prank and said that he did so that the police would arrest the pastor. He even said that now that the pastor had been arrested, he was going to turn himself into the police. So that was when he turned himself to the police. So that is the story there. And Nana opens largest bulk electricity supply point. That was yesterday at Pokwase, and it's funded by the Millennium Challenge Corporation to the tune of $47 million. And the president says that it's a testimony to government's commitment to improving electricity supply in the country. And speaking of electricity, I don't understand why, but you're an energy, expert. Tell me. I was experiencing, fluctuations in my power this morning. I looked around everywhere else. People had, power and there were no fluctuations. What could account for that?
Well, it could be that they may also have fluctuations, but it wasn't probably visible to you from where you were.
No, but my air condition wasn't working. My neighbor's air condition was working. I could hear it. So how do you explain
Okay, then in that case, it's a localized problem. It must be...
So the problem is just me. I'm the local problem.
So, you need to get someone to come look at it.
Right. I thought it was a bit weird, though.
Or the estate, whoever is running the estate, should get someone to come look at it.
Okay. So the Daily Guide, page 4, has its editorial, and it's on the MMDCs and the poor revenue collection. And I totally agree with this. Every day we talk about not having enough funds to prosecute developmental, our developmental agenda. But I feel that the MMDCs are not doing much. All I hear is assemblymen, complaining they are not being paid allowances and, unable to work. Yeah, it's legitimate, but I think that they need to think outside of the box and ensure that they generate revenue to develop their areas.
It's true,
but the government can't do everything.
No, but it also helps if you have direction from the top.
Of course.
Because I recall that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, had indicated that, there was so much we could do by raising revenue for the assemblies. And he indicated that, he used himself as an example, that he was paying very little for property rent.
I think we should have a conversation one of these days about that, because I think there's a lot more that the MCs and assembly members could be doing.
But then there's also the problem of funds meant for the assemblies being used up by central government.
Well, that's another conversation to be had. But okay, so let's go to the middle pages of Daily Guide. Page 8, funny face cage for mental checkup. And we brought you that story earlier. Comedian Benson Nanodro Boateng, known in showbiz as Funny Face, was yesterday committed to a medical facility for mental analysis after he threatened to kill the mother of his twins, Vanessa Nicole, and commit suicide. And this is very sad. I see plenty of people, criticizing him, but this guy is suffering from, a mental illness, and we shouldn't take it lightly.
Yeah.
We shouldn't take it lightly at all. So that's the Daily Guide for you.
All right. Okay, so let's go to the Ghanaian Times. And the story of Funny Face and Shatta Wale, they're all here in the Ghanaian Times. And then the president inaugurates largest point at Pokwase, at the bulk power supply point in Ghana. 350,000 households, businesses to benefit from reliable power. So, we all should be excited about it, the fact that we have the bulk supply points now working. It was one of the issues that government indicated was a result of the challenges we're having with the power distribution sector. So if it's been put into effect and is working now, then we should be happy about that. Okay, so Shatta Wale in more trouble as group files complaint against him, agents. So political think tank, the Alliance for Social Equity, and Public Accountability, ASEPA, has filed a complaint at the Criminal Investigations Department CID of the Ghana Police Service against dancehall artist Charles Nima, known in music circles as Shatawale, and his agent Nana Dope for false publication of news. And I thought the police is dealing with it already, so what again do you want? Okay, 2 nabbed in connection with bullion van attack, bolting with 107,271 cedis, and man jailed 4 years for theft. And in international news, 46 killed in floods in Himalayan states, and complete all abandoned educational projects. Minority on the Education Committee to government, and they're making particular reference to the e-blocks. Some of the e-blocks that have been abandoned in parts of the country. And the minister inaugurates GAGN PCL boards, and IDEC not enthused about MMDC's selection mode, which, yes, has been an issue. There are many who say that the whole entire process is a sham, especially with money changing hands and people being bribed to approve or confirm assembly members and all that. So certainly, we need to have another look at that, the way we go about the process. On the center spread, that's the story of the bulk supply point in Ghana. President inaugurates largest point at Pokuase. So President Nana Akufo-Addo has inaugurated a 580 megavoltage AMP-MVA power substation at Pokuase in the Greater Accra region to serve communities in the northern part of the region. Communities to benefit are Ofanko, Kwabenya, Insewam, Achimota, Anya, Soutum, Kwabenya, Ashoman, Legon, Hacho, Agbo, Badenta, and Eburi in the eastern region. The $64.72 million project, expected to benefit 350,000 households and businesses, forms part of the Ghana Power Compact funded by the United States government through the Millennium Challenge Corporation. Okay, and Gomwa Budumburam 1D1F takes off to produce 31 toilet rolls yearly. Okay.
What is that?
So a 1D1F, a factory to produce 31 million toilet rolls yearly. That's a lot of toilet rolls.
Well, I mean, there's a demand for it, so.
And, a lot of to go with it. And because if you have the toilet roll, you have to eat.
Massa, move on.
Okay, we're moving on. So MBDA to refocus on economic development. That's the Middle Belt Development Authority. And clergy asked to lead exemplary life. And government plans to use pension fund as housing mortgage. That's a very interesting conversation that's also coming up. We really need to look at that. EcoBank has started the conversation as part of the EcoBank Journeys Habitat Fair. And I'm sure when the main fair happens or comes up at the end of the month, we're going to hear a lot more about that. Ningo Prampram residents urge to patronize COVID-19 vaccination. So apparently, there are people who are not so keen on getting vaccinated. First, we had the vaccines, and first we didn't have the vaccines. Then we're worried about the vaccines not coming in, not having enough vaccines. Now the vaccines are in, and people are not availing themselves. Yeah, please go get your jab. Okay, I've had my jab. Marabatu has had a jab.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You're trying to attain herd immunity, so do your bit so
yes.
that fewer people can die will die from this disease or virus.
Yeah. Okay, so in sports, France blocks PSG fans from Marseille for violence fears. Newcastle manager fired 13 days after Saudi-led takeover. And Opoku Ajiman, Norte Sulemana, gone for top awards. Then on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Lands Commission directed to provide space for America Farms project, and 20 road engineer surveyors attend school. That'll be it for the Ghanaian Times.
What was that Marihia story that you talked about?
So it has to do with the Marihia Farms project. Lands Commission has been directed. Yeah, read a bit of that. So the Lands Commission has been directed to expedite the processes to provide space for the commencement of government affordable housing scheme and other projects on the Amreha.
Another affordable housing scheme.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah.
A new one.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the old ones have not been completed.
Exactly.
What are we doing to ourselves? I mean, okay. So, I mean, that story is also on the back page of the graphic as well. It says Ministry earmarks affordable housing project at Amrahia. And like Israel said, it says the government acquired the 1,381 acre plot at Amrahia, which currently hosts dairy farms. However, there's a roadmap to release 40% of the land as required by the law. And when the plan is followed through, the land will be released to Amrahia families, leaving 829 acres for government. So basically, I mean, they are beginning the processes to acquire the land and start building affordable houses for the people.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we don't learn. I mean, let's find the money, the funding to complete the ones we've already started. Yeah. Otherwise, it's really just causing financial loss to the state. But let me come to the front page of the Daily Guide, and the big one there, 350,000 to enjoy improved power. Biggest bulk supply point commissioned, and it has a picture of the president inspecting work there on the bulk supply station at Pokwase yesterday. So the Pokwase BSP, considered the largest in the country, will improve the quality and reliability of power supply in Pokwase, Kwabenya, Legon, in Sawum and the outlying communities. I think I fall within that area.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you, Mr. President.
But that's not how you're going to stop the fluctuation that you experienced last night.
Oh, it's not?
You need to get a technician. I mean, an electrician to come and look at it.
Oh, I thought this was the solution, the panacea to the problem. No. Okay, all right. So that story is on page 3 of the graphic. Also, one of the major headlines, involve youth in decisions that affect them, Vice President. And Volta Region is Best Coordinating Council 2020. U.S.-Ghana deepen trade to create employment. Well, let's look at the details of those stories. So the Vice President has been speaking at the 4th Africa Youth Connect Summit in Accra. And he says that, you know, African leaders must involve young people in decisions that affect them. He says the continent cannot talk about sustainable development without the active involvement of the youth, which is why the finance minister is telling the youth that, listen, you know, venture into, you know, entrepreneurship, because really the government payroll is full. So what you need to do is think outside of the box and, you know, help yourself.
And the youth are also saying that, yes, we're ready to do that, but you need to give us an enabling environment so we can get to businesses will thrive.
I think both are legitimate. Yeah. So another story there, which our colleague MFR Powell has been speaking about since yesterday, Volta Region Best Coordinating Council 2020. As you know, next month, they're embarking on the Visit Volta Fair.
Okay.
And so Volta Region. So the story says the Volta Region has been adjudged the best RCC, that's the Regional Coordinating Council, in the 2020 Annual Local Governance Service Performance Contract. They beat the Savannah and Bono East region, which were judged 2nd and 3rd, respectively. Where is Greater Accra? Where is Ashanti region?
So wow. On what basis are they?
On what basis? So yeah. I'm just wondering, okay, so I need to look through the story and find out exactly what put them ahead of the rest of...
While you look for that, let me just run through the Daily Dispatch. So 2020 election deaths, Shraj asks Nitiwo, Dairy, CDS and IGP for answers. Kojo Chikata at the NRC in 2004, that's a throwback story, typically done by the Daily Dispatch. I was offered money to destroy Chief of Staff, Prophet Gacy. Oh, really? And, that story is on page 11, let me see.
Another prophet.
Yeah, let me see that story. Okay, page 11. Okay, so here's the story. So founder and leader of Prophetic Hill Chapel, Prophet Nigel Gacy, has disclosed that he was paid a sum of 16 billion cedis to destroy the Chief of Staff, Madame Akosia Frimo Osei-Opare. The man of God explained that a close source to Madame Osei-Opare approached him and asked that he prays for the destruction of the Chief Justice. The person, according to the prophet, was resentful and blamed Osopare for his inability to earn a position from the president. Speaking in the Tree dialect on Angel FM's Anopa Bofo morning show, Gezi told Kofi Adoma and when we need that someone brought the current chief of staff to me to pray and destroy her. Okay, I don't know where the story is going. But 16 billion Ghana cedis. The person can't get 16 billion Ghana cedis for you. Okay. Prophet Nigel Gezi.
Let me quickly come back to this Volta region story and the criteria. Well, what it says is that the thematic areas for both the RCCs and the MMDAs include general administration, human resource management, financial management, infrastructure, service delivery, economic development, environment, and sanitation. So I guess the Volta region scored high marks in all these areas. They beat Greater Accra and the Ashanti region, which many may have actually expected to have done better.
I would have been excited if the decision or the determination of who is best was maybe decided by people and how the RegTech has benefited or the coordinating council has impacted their lives, but doesn't quite look.
So let's turn to, still on the daily graphic, let's turn to page 22, and IDEC calls for establishment of multi-party commission. How's that going to be different from IPAC? I wonder. So the story says that the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC, has called for the establishment of a multi-party commission to facilitate the development of the country's democracy. IDEC said the commission should be charged with the creation of enabling conditions to nurture political parties to deepen their democratic culture going forward. Like I said, the question remains, how would that be different from IDEC?
Okay, so
from IPAC, sorry.
We're running out of time. In fact, we have to do the news review, the online news review right now. So let's get to my Joy Online and see the stories making headlines. So we have Deputy Finance Minister urges prospective entrepreneurs to embrace feeding challenges. President Akufo-Addo commissions Ghana's largest bulk electricity supply point in Pokwase. Shatta Wale has not been granted bail. That's
okay, that's the clarity there.
Law school director must resign. GLC dissolved. So Sue demands a students protest exam saga. Professor Nana Abba Apia Amfo is first female vice chancellor.
Congratulations to her. That's good news.
She has been confirmed as a substantive vice chancellor. Slobusu Ekofo could be MPP's running mate in 2024. Kwesi Pratt hints.
To who?
Oh, okay.
Running mate to who?
Whoever. Whoever becomes flag bearer, I guess. Shatta Wale could face 5 years in jail for originating false news. There's a lawyer saying that. Volta Regional Coordinating Council wins coveted Best Local Government Award for 2020. And government is the #1 problem entrepreneurs face in the country.
I think I heard her on the morning show, and she was talking about some contracts that, entrepreneurs could be given, are given to, government officials who already have jobs. So, I mean, how do you expect them to thrive when you're not giving them the contracts that they need?
Okay. All right. So that'll be it for the news review. Up next, we're bringing you the sports. But thank you very much, Araba Kumsing.
Always a pleasure
for
to be
coming
here with
through to help with the news review. But up next, after the sports, actually, one of the issues we're discussing has to do with the mandatory toll levy. It's coming back. We'll have the National Road Safety Authority come explain to us exactly how different this is going to be from the original one. Do stay tuned in. Up next, we're bringing you sports.
If there was video assistant referee during the 2010 FIFA World Cup, where do you think Ghana would have gotten to in that competition? Well, CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who is in the country, says that Ghana probably would have made it to the grand finale of the competition. We also will talk about the UEFA Champions League, where, once again, Cristiano Ronaldo rose to the occasion when Manchester United need him the most and gave them all 3 points in the competition. And also the Division 1 League Super Cup. 2 teams have made it to the grand finale. My colleague Oriko Ampofo was there and will be sharing details with you. Welcome to AM Sports. I am Muftao Nabila Abdullahi. Let's start with the visit of CAF President to the country. And Ghana's Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has urged the Confederation of African Football to strengthen their inter-club competitions to make it financially rewarding. Speaking at a meeting with the CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, Bawumia said the CAF Champions League and Confederation Cup should be prioritized. For Motsepe, he said there needs to be the right investment to make football rewarding, stating that Ghana could have reached the semi-final of the World Cup in 2010 if there was video assistant referee. The CAF president is in the country on a 2-day working visit and paid a courtesy call on the vice president of the country, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Interacting with the vice president, Patrice Motsepe said Ghana would have qualified to the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup in 2010 if there was a video assistant referee.
If in 2010 there was VAR, Ghana would have gone very, very far. Yes, and we believe that we could have made history. Yes. Because Ghana was not just playing for the people of Ghana. It was playing for 1.3 billion. I'd never seen so many young boys in the townships wearing the jersey, because it was the hope and inspiration. It was. So we know that with the support of football and supporting my brother Kurt and his leadership, the national team of Ghana, the club football, as well as the unique role that football plays amongst our young boys and the young girls in terms of inspiration. There's so much more we can do together. So we'll be engaging with the private sector as well. I mean, the CEO of MTN is a very, very, very close friend of mine. So we do want the private sector to support, because President, without funding, without finances, in this new environment, there's very little we can do.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia charged the continent's football governing body to improve their inter-club competitions to ensure they are financially rewarding.
One of the things I would like to see, because the African Inter-Club Championship, for the clubs, is not very financially rewarding, and they are very, we'd like to see it strengthen a bit and see how we can bring about some financial benefits from participation, because the clubs are generally weak anyway financially. So I think it will be very, very nice. But generally speaking, I think CAF has done well. If you look at the finals, the African Cup of Nations, we started with 8 countries going, and we moved to 12, moved to 16, now we are at 24. I mean, this is really very good, because as you know, our continent is football crazy. So having 24 teams there, we all feel we are better positioned to win, so everybody is trying to do that, and we're very, very happy.
The CAF Champions League has a prize money of $2 million. And a president of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreko, has urged referees to trust in his vision for football in the country. Addressing the referees ahead of the new season, which starts next week, Kurt said though they might hold a varied opinion on how football should be managed in the country, it is his vision that drives football in Ghana.
I'm always involved, and he knows about this. I say to everybody that we all have one vision, a vision to excel in our niche part of the football ecosystem. But we all have different ways of arriving at our vision. So you may not agree with me on how I want to arrive. I may not necessarily agree with you on how you want to arrive. But ultimately, I expect all of us to arrive. So there are some of you who don't understand and don't agree with what we do. Your RAC chairman is here. He always calls, President, this is me, I don't agree with you. We'll talk and discuss, and then we'll leave it. It's only because we are human. But all of us believe in the vision to excel, the vision to take refereeing to an international level, the vision to produce the very best performance when we speak about refereeing on the African continent. It's the vision, it's the end goal. So we may differ on how we want to arrive at the destination. But eventually, I want all of us to believe in the vision. Let's have our disagreement on how we want to arrive. It's okay, because we are human. But at the end, all of you here must believe in my vision. That's why we belong to this family. It's my vision that is carrying all of us.
Let's talk about the Division 1 League Super Cup now, where Sky FC defeated Accra Lions 1-0 to reach the final of the competition. My colleague Oriko Ampofo was there and came through with this report.
After 120 minutes, Sky FC and Accra Lions have finally been separated. It took just one goal, and Sky FC got it in the first half of extra time. And what that means is that Sky FC would be joining Tema Youth in the final of the maiden Division 1 League Super Cup. It was a good day of football. Earlier, Tema Youth went past Samatex by 2-1. But this match was the one that a lot of people look forward to, because Accra Lions did really have the mantle, especially for the promoted teams to the Premier League. And since they've been eliminated, it means that no side that was promoted to the Premier League would be in the final of the competition. Now, their head coach, that's Accra Lions, he's a little bit disappointed with the performance and thinks that still this experience is good enough preparation for the new season ahead.
It is disappointing because of the result. It's not disappointing the way we worked, we played, we fighted for 2 hours. I'm absolutely okay with what I've seen. And after a very short time, I knew that who will make the first big mistake in this game, we lose it. Unlucky-wise, it was us in the additional time.
Sky FC would be in the final facing opposition that they do know pretty well. They're in the same group with them in this Division 1 Super League. They drew 1-1, but their coach believes that this time they do have what it takes to be able to go past them and win the trophy.
We were in the same group with them. We played our last match in the group, and we nearly made it. In fact, you know, there is this problem in our team. Should I call it a problem? I would say is lack of experience on the part of some of the guys, because the Tema Youth game, well, in the time added one, I think it was 5 minutes added, and we played about 3 minutes or so. In fact, we let our guard down. A very silly, I say silly. At least we could have protected that, but hey, it went in and it ended 1-1. And the way I saw them, nothing shows that we cannot beat them in the finals. I'm very optimistic we can beat them.
So the final of the maiden Division 1 League Super Cup would be between Tema Youth and then Sky FC. Both finished as runners-up for Tema Youth in Zone 3 and for Sky FC in Zone 2. We'll find out who the champion of the first ever Division 1 League Super Cup would be come Saturday right here at the Medina AstroTurf. Reporting for Joy Sports, Oreko Ampofo.
Now let's take a look at the whole results for match day 3 in the UEFA Champions League, especially for matches that were played on Wednesday. Barcelona, they won 1-0 against Dynamo Kiev. Red Bull Salzburg were also 3-1 winners against Wolfsburg. Young Boys suffered a 1-4 loss against Villarreal. Benfica started at home and lost 4-0 to Bayern Munich. Chelsea were also 4-0 winner over Malmo FF. Lille drew 0-0 against Sevilla. Manchester United needed Cristiano Ronaldo to rise to the occasion as they won 3-2, and Zenit St. Petersburg also started at home and lost 1-0 to Juventus. It's been a pleasure coming your way with AM Sports. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullah. You can head on to myjoyonline.com and read some more sports stories. The AM show continues.
Right, so you're welcome back to the AM show, and we will be talking about the mandatory towing levy, the controversial issue. Well, it was quite controversial when it first came up, and it is garnering quite a bit of controversy again. But we'll have the National Road Safety Authority come into the studio. They're here. They'll be coming to speak with us about it all, to explain it all. So let us have all the questions that you want to ask them, and we'll ask them for you. Meanwhile, we've heard of 5%, 10%, 15%, 20% discount, but never 50%. Sethi Realty is offering 50% discount on their dwelling properties. Prices starting from 210,000 Ghana cedis. That's like the price of a brand new car. This offer is for a limited time and on selected units. T's and T's apply. So if you're looking for 2 or 3 bedroom home in a gated community, make sure you call Sethi Realty on 055-143-5555 or 055-143-8888 or visit them online at nyamidua.gh.com. I'll run the numbers by you again. It's 055-143-5555 or 055-143-8888. Or again, visit them online via nyamidua.gh.com. So yes, it's common to see broken down vehicles abandoned on the road, causing road crashes as other vehicles, especially at night, run into them. So there's no doubt that vehicles abandoned on the highways are causing accidents. But how do we address the challenge? Do we levy every road user with a towing levy? The other challenge people had with the initial plan was the use of a particular company. Well, the National Road Safety Authority says that towing levy is coming back. What form is it going to take and how different is it from the initial levy? We have David Jadonting. He's the Director of Planning and Programs, National Road Safety Authority, and he'll be joining us in a bit for that conversation. But the story is already in some of the newspapers, and I'll take you to the Daily Statesman, which is reporting on it. So it says consultations have resumed among stakeholders towards a possible reintroduction of the mandatory towing levy regime for broken down vehicles as part of efforts to check the upsurge of carnage on the country's road networks. The stakeholders believe that broken down or unattended to vehicles on the country's roads contribute significantly to the current surge of road accidents. And for that matter, government must take a quick look into the need to reintroduce the mandatory towing levy. However, they want to be actively involved in the implementation and enforcement of the policy and not leave it in the hands of a private person or entity. This came to light at a National Consultative Forum on Road Traffic Crashes and Review of the Road Traffic Act 2004 and the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 held at the Shippers House last week. The stakeholders, with a unanimous vote, called on government to, as a matter of urgency, take steps to reintroduce the enforcement of the mandatory towing levy, but their opinions on the implementation differed. The forum was organized by the Ministry of Transport in collaboration with the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, the National Road Safety Authority, and the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Department of the Ghana Police Service. So we have the regulations. The state agencies had proposed regulation 102, section 2, to read: an owner or a person in charge of a motor vehicle or trailer which is broken down on the road and does not cause the immediate removal of the vehicle or trailer from the road commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction and a fine of not less than 500 penalty units. And then the regulation 102, section 3, in its current form reads: the owner of a person in charge of a motor vehicle or trailer shall pay a prescribed annual fee known as road safety fee for the towing of broken down vehicles or trailers on the road and the ancillary service. So that's where we are at the moment. So I have been joined now by David Adonting. He's the Director of Planning and Programs at the National Road Safety Authority. Good morning to you, and thank you for making time to join us in the studio.
A good friend.
Yeah. So yes, we're talking about road safety again. So this time it has to do with the mandatory towing levy.
That's right.
This was quite controversial some time back, and eventually it was suspended when it came up. But the National Road Safety Authority says that it is being brought back. Tell us, what form is it going to take this time, and how different is it from the initial original plan?
Okay, thank you very much, and Greetings to all Ghanaians, because I believe everybody's watching.
Yeah.
It's a topic very dear.
Everybody's interested in it.
So it is good I start from somewhere and then end it at where we are.
I know where you're going to start from. You're going to say how the carnage the abandoned vehicles are causing on the roads.
And I think that is where it has to start from. The story is that a couple of years ago, we have looked at our statistics and we've seen the rising trend of crashes. And we have identified that one of the biggest problems that we're facing happens to be people driving straight into disabled or abandoned vehicles.
All right.
Clearly, we came up with a solution. And that solution was that let us all come together, find a way. And the way was that every vehicle owner, not a driver, but vehicle owner, as you go to DVLA to renew your roadworthiness or register your vehicle, you pay a token. And I'll use the word a token. But that, relatively, compared to how much you are paying, it's very small. The money will be put together in an escrow account, and then it will be utilized for National Road Safety Authority or the police at the time, engaging the private sector, whoever has the capacity to remove these disabled vehicles so that people don't drive into them in the night. It didn't see the light of day.
Yeah.
Now, nothing came to replace that project. And so the problem is still with us. And we are facing it. And people are dying. We see it every day. You are showing signs of certain high-profile personalities in recent times who have driven into disabled vehicles. You know what happens? The vehicles are loaded. They are traveling long distances. They get to the middle of a road on a highway. It becomes disabled. For that matter, perhaps it needs some repairs. It needs some spare parts. The operators or the drivers will come out of this vehicle, travel all the way to Kumasi Magazine, for example, to go and get that component or the part. And they use the same situation to repair on the road while the vehicle is there in that position.
The law mandates the authorities to tow a vehicle that's disabled and charge the person.
Fantastic.
And bill the person for it.
So when we went back, after the public, during that time, were saying no to the project, we didn't go to sleep. We went and explored other options.
Yeah.
One of the options is what you're talking about. What is it? We said we should charge the individual whose vehicle breaks down.
So you tow.
And that's what we're doing. So you tow the vehicle and you surcharge them.
Yes.
You know what happens? It's expensive. They are not paying because they cannot pay. It costs not less than 3,000 Ghana cedis, 4,000, 5,000 Ghana cedis. For an individual, you tow it, you place it somewhere, come and pick the vehicle, they don't even come to pick.
Oh, so why don't you auction the vehicle?
Exactly.
And take
now,
them.
Auctioning in Ghana takes a period, not less than 6 months, because it has to go through a process.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you get your money.
Yes, but the private sector, he needs his money. He has invested in the project, invested in business, and you have to wait, go to court, go through a procedure before your money is paid to you. People are not interested.
No, even if it means that there's going to be some interest that's accumulated on the amount. So you're supposed to come and pay 3,000. If you don't pay the 3,000 in a month, it goes up.
Yeah, so the good thing is that people are not interested in. It doesn't make business sense to an individual. Mind you, this is not a government project, government who is investing. It is a private sector led. And across the world, it is a private sector that leads government to do these things. And so if we want to go by that private sector, unless government comes in to say, I will supply 100 of towing vehicles to the National Road Safety Authority or to the police. No. But if you go now across the world, even in the US, it is a private sector led. And so the private sector is not interested in going to fight for his money through the law court. He wants his money. I have towed a vehicle. Instantly pay me. Now you say, I'm now going to auction a vehicle before somebody buys. What if nobody buys? You see, so it doesn't make business sense to them. That's the challenge we faced. Now, we explored another option. We call it subscription. If that is the case, all vehicle owners would have to, on their own, subscribe to the terms and conditions of a service provider. It is between you and him as to how much he charges you or whatever conditions he proposes and you accept and sign the contract with, such that you can be provided a service at any point in time when your vehicle breaks down anywhere in Ghana. Now, Ghanaians are saying that that may even be worse, because now you are giving our destiny to an individual who wants money, a businessman. He may charge you anything for that matter. So, no. Then we said, let us look at insurance. The insurance industry, they had earlier shown interest that they want to come in,
yes,
so that it becomes part of the insurance, services. I think it is an option we also explored. We engaged the insurance industry. They are not out yet as to whether the interest is there and they are capable of doing. So at this time,
I thought they expressed interest. Actually.
They express interest.
Yes.
But
so why
we're going to do a pilot. And then the pilot, if it shows positive that they can do it, then it is an area we can also think of, so that we bring the insurance also in.
All right.
But which means that it is possible that insurance may raise its premium. If you pay 100 cedis and this time they say, because we are adding on, and so come and pay a double of it, for example, it is another story altogether. But it's an option we can explore. But we are speaking about this because the Minister of Transport organized a stakeholder consultation to discuss road safety and even go beyond to discuss the review of the Road Traffic Regulation 2012 LI 2180 at the Shippers Authority Hall, which we opened up.
Which was a story I was actually making reference to.
And there were quite a number of provisions that we are amending, including Regulation 102 to 105, which provides for this removal of disabled vehicles. That was when we gave all these options that I'm talking about. And then the participants, it is on the National Road Safety Authority or the Ministry of Transport. Let me clarify that. Participants raised their voice and said, it is good we have brought this whole chapter again. Looking at what is happening currently on our roads, with vehicles loaded and broken down on our roads and endangering life and property, we have to revisit. And the option that is coming up is the old stuff, the old friend that we abandoned. Can we look at it again? And this time around, perhaps open up, let people share their views and perhaps make inputs so that we can better it. Because it appears that perhaps we didn't try it. If we were to go ahead by now, we believe it would have solved the problem. The problem is there. In recent times, you found quite a number of people driving, even here in Tesano. It happened. People died right in Accra. So we are discussing. We are listening to people.
Okay.
Share your views. Bring your ideas. This is the time for consultation.
All right, great. So as you heard Mr. Adonting indicate, what we're doing is discussing. If you have any ideas you want to share with us, please let us know. And we're putting it up on our social media account. So just engage and share whatever you want, whatever opinions that you have. You share that with us. So in fact, we have that. Okay, so that's where it is. Okay, we have a number of views coming through already. So Kofi Bentil says, don't bring back toll levy. It can never make sense to levy everybody to pay for the lawless few. Simply do what the law says. Tow the vehicle and seize it till the towing plus penalty is paid. Otherwise, auction the vehicle, which is what I was talking about. Sure. If we do 10 of these, people will tow their own cars. We should learn to enforce laws instead of making every problem a money-making or procurement arrangement for some people when there are simple, common-sense solutions. So we have Selon Brandt here also saying, good morning. Then again, if you own a car, a certain Ghanaian billionaire with connections thinks he's the only one who should tow your cars, and the government is willing to dash the whole Ghana to him. Private entrepreneurs that the ever-eloquent information minister said will be enabled by his government in flowery language and inspirational erudition, who handle towing services, will all be rid of their livelihoods. And the mechanics who maintain these private towing trucks and their drivers will be rid of livelihood. So a politically connected big man, a church elder, with the connivance of the National Road Safety Commission, will get their monopoly when the youth are being told to be entrepreneurial. So these are just a few of the thoughts that are coming through. But I want to understand. So you're saying, as of now, it's just a discussion. No position has been taken by the National Road Safety Authority.
No, at all.
But what form are you anticipating that this will take? Or what is it that the people are proposing? The people who were at this stakeholder forum.
Fantastic. But before then, let me commend those who are feeding in all this information. In fact, Kofi Bentil and a few
Salon Brandt,
yeah, that is very good. You know what? The suggestions that are coming to enhance the whole discussion is that, please, the fees that you said we are going to pay appear to be on the higher side. Can you reduce it? Which means that if we are able to reduce it, then people will buy into it. That is one. Another says, this time, don't let us think or feel that it is going to an individual to monopolize. Let it open. Do a kind of procurement, for example, so that every Ghanaian, whoever has the capacity to also demonstrate to help and commit resources to it, will get the opportunity. It means that we are not looking at a certain one person. So I can assure whoever is giving these inputs that, no, we don't have anybody in mind for that matter. Now, we are going to go deep.
But we know that there's only one company that's capable of
so when it is that company that demonstrates that commitment and capacity, then what will be the problem of Ghanaians? What it means is that the opportunity will be granted to everybody. So come and show capacity. This is a work. In fact, if you go on our highways, from Accra to Bolga, on a typical day, you can count no less than 100 of such situations. Now, it is not a situation where you can use your strength to push. So it is not a Land Rover kind of work. It is a towing vehicle that has the capacity to move a loaded vehicle for that matter. We are saying that the Minister of Transport, as part of the amendment, would have to license operators or service providers. And then the country may be zoned.
Okay.
So that if we have 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 of them, zones will now be distributed to all of them. These are Ghanaians. It's not somebody coming from Abrochu. It's here.
All right. So we have a few people calling. We have Ernest calling from Accra. Hello, Ernest. Do you have a proposal on how we can resolve this challenge?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to greet your viewers. And I think the topic is really interesting. And we have to look at it very well. Your resource person started by saying that they've looked at other models and it looks like it's more challenging. And if you look at the models he presented, all the models are skewed to the person who is going to get the final decision that he was coming up with. It's skewed to the person who is going to do the towing. He's not looking at the other side of those who will have their car break down, or those who will be driving and their car will not break down, or in actual fact, those who are responsible that anytime their car breaks down, they tow it. They will not even leave the car there for a second.
Yes.
What percentage of us are illegal that we end up putting our cars there and then will not tow it? If you are now going to tow my car, where are you going to tow the car to? You are going to create more problems for those who are even responsible.
All right.
If you say they don't pay, why won't you arrest them? We have the police. We have the this. So if all these things are difficult, then you want the easiest one. And the easiest one is going to put more burden on those who are responsible. And I think we can't go like that. We have a lot of levies that have been introduced. How are we benefiting? Immediately they introduce it, they will go and sleep, and we will be struggling. Your car will break down, and they will not tow. You will call, and nobody will come. But you have paid. Just like health insurance, like the road toll. We pay toll. Look at the road we are using.
Ernest.
You call, nothing happens.
Ernest, so what we're doing with this conversation is to get to hear from you. How else do you think we should go about it?
I think the law which is there now should what you have to do. If your car breaks down, and then you have maybe 2 hours, 3 hours to tow the car from there. If you don't tow the car from there, and they say the system, the operation you want to bring in is very efficient, that anytime a car breaks down, they will see it. Then it means anytime a car breaks down, you will be able to see it and monitor If the person doesn't pull it from there, you free the person, you tow the car, and you charge.
All right. So one of the things that Mr. Adonting has been saying is that they've been doing this. They tow the vehicles. When they tow the vehicles, the people whose vehicles have been towed refuse to pay for them, and they abandon the vehicles. They won't even come for the vehicles. And the person who towed the vehicle is owed money, and is a private businessman and wants their money, but they can't get their money.
Yes, as simple as that. You tow the car, the person is not coming for that. That car will value more than, let me even underestimate it, 1,000 Ghana cedis. No matter how scrap nature the car is, the value of that car can be 1,000 Ghana cedis or 500 Ghana cedis. If the person is not coming for it, sell it to the scrap dealers, and you can get the money for the towing.
It's true.
Sell it to the scrap dealers. We can come out with laws.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sell it to scrap dealers.
Thank you.
100 cedis, 50 cedis, and you will get the money. And people will be responsible.
Oh, certainly not 50 cedis. Okay, but thank you very much, Ernest, for your thoughts. We have Mark calling from Techiman. Hello, Mark.
Israel.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please speak up for us, Mark. We can barely hear you, Mark. Yes, speak up.
Yeah, you know, as your resource person was saying, there is going to be a token.
Yeah.
You know, some of us are using vehicles like 1.8 engine capacity. Some are using, this truck and the other ones.
Yeah.
My question to the resource person is, or my suggestion is it going to be like the way we used to register our cars, according to the engine capacity? When you register a Toyota Corolla, let's say a private Toyota Corolla,
yeah.
The price is different from registering
True.
Tipper truck or whatever it is.
Yes, true.
And Israel, you see, most of the times what we see or found on our roads are the big trucks. I mean, the big trucks, the trucks. They are the most, the common vehicles that cause what we are talking about. So my question or suggestion is it going to be, talking about the token, is it going to be like that? Those of us with the small vehicles are paying this amount, or we are all going to pay the same amount of
all right
token that he is talking about.
Okay.
And besides the enforcement of the law that is there already. I think the first caller said something about the enforcement, about the police, and about those things. When a private man comes to tow your vehicle from the road, who dare you say you cannot pay them? You won't pay the money to the person. So if a private man comes to tow the car, and let's say road safety 2 comes to tow the car, I think it's the same law or the enforcement that we are going to use.
All right.
So Israel, let's put our heads together and know what to do.
Sure.
Thank you very
Which
much.
is why we're having this conversation. We have Paul calling from Apollonia. Hello, Paul.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, let's hear you out.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What do you propose?
Yeah, for me, I think for the expansion of the road and doing at least from every 50 kilometers of the road, there must be a bus stop or a parking place. So that you even know that when I drive from here to here and I'm developing a fault, I can manage and go there and go and park.
All right.
So that the paying money that you will not be able to pay will also be reduced, and the parking of the roads. Even sometimes, I'm a tipper driver myself.
Okay.
Sometimes when you load from Bato and you're coming towards Accra, and your tire blast, the road is very small. Even when you park at the side of the roadside and you are changing tire, even when car is passing, it's likely that a car will even hit you. So at least if it's every 50 kilometers, because when a car tow you from a short distance, the way they will charge you, even if you don't think you'll not be able to pay as they are saying there. So it should be after every 50 kilometers or every 20 kilometers, it should be a bus stop. If you are coming and developing a fault, they can even tow you from that short distance so that your money will be less. And when they will tow you for 5,000, they can tow you for 2,000 or 1,500. Now you can be able to pay that money.
So, Paul, I'm interested because you say you're a tipper driver yourself. Have you ever had your vehicle broken down, and how have you managed to get it off the road, or have you just left it there?
Yes, from a runabout, Tema runabout,
yeah,
to Ashama High Tension. And it was a private man who was coming to tow the car. From there, from Ashama runabout to Ashama High Tension, It takes us almost about 1,000. And that was a very short distance from there, from roundabout to high tension, the fitting shop.
All right.
Yeah, so sometimes the charging is something that
too much.
People are not able to pay.
So that is why you leave.
Expensive.
So
if it's about 50 kilometers and you have a bus stop there, you can really use that kind of towing money and all those things for us to even park and do whatever I want to do. Because when we are coming and you're developing a port, you say, oh, let me manage it and go where I'm going. Or let me manage that I'll go to where I'll park and we have some comfortable place. Even just this week, one of our car broke down at Baton Road. They were parked there. They can't see all the ideas of if they finish the car, how can they move? So if you just after every 50 kilometers and you have a car park, you can manage and do something about also that one.
All right.
So that the vehicles will not be broke down on the main road to come and cause any accident.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Paul. We'll take Lawrence from Kumasi. Hello, Lawrence.
Hello.
Yeah, Lawrence. Let's hear you out.
Hello.
Yeah, Lawrence, we can hear you.
Yes, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Good morning. Okay, so it's probably your TV that you're watching that's giving you feedback. If you can mute it.
My problem has to do with the road safety, the institution.
Yeah.
This toll levy that they were trying to bring some time ago, it was postponed. So I don't know what changes they've made, because people rejected it entirely. I don't know what changes they have made so far. Because if my car is broken down on the road, as the law says, they have to take it. And I have to come and bear the cost of it. If I'm not able to come and bear the cost, the law says they should auction it. If the 6 months is too long for them to do the auction, they can go to Parliament or whatever the law was passed, so that they can refine it or change it to about 2 or 3 months, so that they can just auction it.
All right.
Because some of the cars are not really innocent drivers who have the mandate to make sure that our cars are not left on the road, are going to pay a certain amount which we are supposed to pay. I don't think they should generalize it like it is going to be part of when you go to DVLA to register your car, or when you are doing insurance and you are to pay for that, they should add it. No, it's going to be a burden on most of the innocent Ghanaians who are well-meaning or who are well-minded to take their cars whenever it is broken down on the road. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. We have George calling from Kintampo. Hello, George. Hello, George.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. So what's your view on this?
Yeah, I think this is it's not realistic.
Okay.
And we need to do an in-depth analysis into why people are not able to pay. Because as the earlier speaker said, he said they charge unrealistic charges. And that's why people are not able to pay. And why do you want to overburden Ghanaians? Overburden us with levies and other things. People, we have to be responsible for our actions and inactions. If somebody cars break down on the road, why should it be a responsibility of somebody else?
All right. So
if your car breaks down, you have to make sure that the law actually deal with the person if the person leaves it on the road, and the person is not able to say sell it, tow it and sell it to other persons, so that you can actually recoup your money. You don't put it on others.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We have Danso from Edukrom. Hello, Danso.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I simply want to say that a lot of people have said a lot about what has changed. What has changed? The question is, what has changed at all? They try to impose this law on us, and everybody said no, it's not the right way to go. Now they are trying to bring it back. Why? What has changed?
All right.
Nothing has changed. The fact is that our institutions always want to cheap ways of getting money from making money, making the poor people. You see, but if somebody's vehicle is abandoned on the road, just monitor and come and pick it from there. Whatever you want to send it to, if it's the police station, go and dump it there. For a number of days that the law says you come for it. If you don't come for it, they should auction it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, rather than, you know, burdening everybody again with, you know, other, you know, you see, and the same people, you see, immediately this thing is accepted now, you see that the towing vehicles, you call them, they will not come. You don't even find them. So it is just going to be the same thing again. So if they really want to work, want to get, you know, remove abandoned vehicles from the road, they should rather, you know, make it mandatory that when they pick your vehicle from the road, they give you maybe 2 months, 3 months. If you don't come for it, you auction it.
Sure.
People will rush to go and collect their vehicles from them.
Okay.
You understand me?
All right.
And they themselves too, because it is for them to, you know, they have the option of auctioning the vehicles themselves and then making more money out of it. They would rather be monitoring. They would rather ensure that the vehicles are, you know, removed from the road. But if you allow them to say, oh, the law says that, oh, come and take it, you know, pay up front, so that anytime you call them, my brother, you call 100 times, nobody will mind you. Just like somebody said, National Insurance said this thing. You go there, they'll give you paracetamol. And then they'll write prescription for you. Meanwhile, there are 2 forms that they are giving you drugs that are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they are going to claim that one. Then you, the patient, you are still paying over there, up front again.
Okay.
You see, so this country is like that, you know, a lot of things are going on. If you're not careful, my brother,
All right.
one day something will happen.
Thank you, Dan. So we have our last caller, Kwame from Fomena. Hello, Kwame.
Hello, Israel.
Yes.
Blessed morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. You see, I want the safety officer to have a very critical look at something. You see, I don't know. Their campaign should start from assessing our trunk roads. The driver make a very good point. You see, when you look at the design of our roads, they pride these heavy loads, trucks on these stretches where we don't have enough parking spaces. You see, in the design of our roads, we should take into consideration of that. That when any time a driver or a heavy-duty truck spoil, he has at least an option to just gear off the main road. And that will solve all these kind of problems. But to levy us again, my brother, is too much.
Okay.
Like the earlier callers were saying. So at least, and even if this thing should come into force, at least they are going to find money, get enough space where they will tow these cars to. That one is even at a cost. So why do they champion us? Champion that at least the design of our roads should be such that at least you have those parking spaces along the changes, so that when you develop a port, at least even if you don't have money to tow, you can just get people push and then you go and then you park over there so that the road will be what?
Okay.
Well, that space is there. So at least they should at least have that approach. Other than that, my brother, the Ghanaians will reject this.
All right. Thank you very much, Kwame. Kwame called. It's our last caller for now. He called from Mena. So one of he's the second person who's brought up this issue about having like pit stops, so that the vehicles can at least move there. So if you're moving and you know that the next pit stop, you're having challenges with your vehicle. You know that the next pit stop is about 10 kilometers away. Then you make your way gradually to that pit stop, leave your vehicle there, and then get someone to take care of it.
Yes. Now, I think I appreciate all those comments, and I have them down there. There's a working committee that is working on this, and it's good for me. You see, it's a whole package. We may not have time. We may need an hour to sit here so that I can unearth all the content of the package. The package is said that there will be parking lots or storage facilities along the major highways across the country.
So when you started the conversation, Mr. Adonting, you told me that what we're doing now is having a discussion.
Yes.
But apparently you have a whole package. You have a plan.
We have a plan.
Okay. So you tell us about the plan.
Okay. The plan is that if Ghanaians should accept this proposal, it means that in the whole year, perhaps your vehicle category is in a saloon, less than 2,000 cc. Perhaps a certain amount, 10 cedis, 20 cedis, for example.
Do you have an amount in mind?
In fact, Parliament passed the fees, the road safety fees. Unfortunately, I don't have it here. But Parliament passed it. And that's what we said, that was ranging between 5 Ghana cedis to, I think, 150 Ghana cedis or so, which means that it is more or it's higher as vehicles grow from the lowest category to the top category. So somebody saying that we haven't taken care of, or perhaps focused on the vehicle, the target vehicles, is wrong. Because they are paying higher.
Okay. So
while the others are paying smaller. So we have categorized them into based on the vehicle's capacity. So we are all not paying the same. Once you have done that, the whole year, wherever your vehicle breaks down, just call for the service. And it will be said that it will be near you. It will be removed, transported to a safer location, fenced, secured. We watch over it overnight. Your items and whatever, and you will be given the opportunity to repair in case you need that repair. Beyond that, if it is an assistance, you can have a road assistance. I think there are a lot of people who have not faced this problem before, where your vehicle breaks down on a highway, in a secure area where you don't have any service. If you are not careful, you will sell everything around you to go for a help. We are going to help you so that we provide all the necessary. In some jurisdictions, we are considering giving you even a vehicle facility to take you to your home safely, whilst we work on the vehicle for you. It is a service that is provided in most countries. Now, having done that, what we expect the service provider to do is that we are giving you terms and conditions. You would not fail, because the sanction mechanism is so huge that if you should fail to perform, we'll revoke your license and perhaps even a lot more penalties for you to redeem yourself, which means that we will it will be assured, Ghanaians will be assured of quality service. Okay. It is not the kind of service that you call the service and they tell you cannot be reached, or you can no.
No, but we're here in Ghana, and we've seen so many of these examples that people, you're paying people to provide you a service, and yet they're not delivering.
Okay.
So it won't be so different. I mean, if it was, we're having a conversation elsewhere, and you say that, no, it's not the kind of service that people can renege on, or the contractors can renege on.
Okay. So because we cannot rely on internet services for that long, and for that matter, the reliability will be to a certain level. But what we intend doing is that to have constant patrols, physical. So at all times, there are people watching, and there are now satellite systems across because of technology. So you have cameras which the police are going to deploy very soon, which I told you the last time. All these things will now come into play. So the very moment you have you have the problem, you call. If you don't call, then the police would have to do everything possible to identify you wherever you are.
All right.
And then you are provided with a service.
Now, I have a colleague, a former colleague of mine, who has been very interested in this mandatory towing levy when it first came up. And he's joining us via Zoom. Manasseh Azuri winning. Hello, Manasseh.
Hello, Israel.
All right, so good morning, and thank you for joining us for the conversation. So, as you heard Mr. Adonting say, he says for now, it's under consideration, and people, they're welcoming views and opinions and proposals on how to make it better. So do you have any ideas as to how we can make this better?
In the first place, if you would listen to the callers, these are ordinary people. They've spoken a lot of sense and wisdom. And I know officials at the Road Safety Commission have more expertise than these people. I know they are very intelligent people who know what they are about. So the suggestions from the people shouldn't be superior to theirs, but they are going for the worst one. I have not changed my position on this. There's nothing to make better. You can't make fraud any better, and this is fraud. And they know it.
Why do you describe it as fraud?
Okay, let me tell you, Israel. What percentage of vehicles break down? And what percentage of those vehicles refuse, or owners refuse to pay the toll when the vehicles break down?
Let me put that to Mr. Adonting.
Okay.
Mr. Adonting, do you have statistics as to how many vehicles, or the percentage of number of vehicles that break down? How many refuse to tow them?
Refuse to tow?
Yeah. So, because most people, if my vehicle breaks down, I'm very interested in getting the vehicle out of that space.
Okay.
Or getting, yes, so I will do that.
Israel.
Ideally, we have a lot of people who...
Israel. You see, even if it is 1%, even if it is 1, we want to remove a certain risk. You see, the issue we are discussing should not be discussed.
I agree.
The risk is that whether you are innocent or not, you may be driving well, you may have a very good car, you may not even drive on the highway over a certain period. But a certain Ghanaian is driving there. A certain brother, a certain family member.
The concern which Manasseh is bringing up is, if the 90% of us are compliant, and we have 10% being recalcitrant, why would the 90% be made to pay for the recalcitrant 10%?
It is because we are dealing with a human being. The human being whom we expected that by law, if your vehicle breaks down, you must put advance warning triangles. You must protect the vehicle so that any approaching vehicle will be warned. They are not doing it. And because they are not doing it, the 90% who are innocent are driving into them and killing themselves.
I was hoping that you were going to give me some statistics,
well,
but it doesn't look
what
like
I can say is that if you look at our statistics, fatal crashes ranges between 5 to 20%. It depends on the particular year. What it means is that crashes that lead to deaths, in some years it could be contributing to 5%, 10%, 11%, 15, and 20.
All right.
And so
that's actually not the question he asked. The question he's asking is, of the number of vehicles that break down, how many of...
Or 30 of them that refuse to pay when the towing is done. In that case, we can begin to interrogate based on this. I said it is fraud on a number of reasons. The first one has to do with the fact that, look, Israel, the people have said, and I also support it, that if we are to deal with this problem, make it mandatory that if my vehicle breaks down, it has to be towed. I don't decide whether or not that vehicle is towed. And if that vehicle is towed, I have to go and pay. There is no vehicle, even those that are so deplorable, I don't think there's any vehicle out there whose cost is less than the towing levy. That my vehicle will break down, let's say on the Achimota Road, it is towed to Achimota Police Station, and I'll run away and leave the vehicle because the cost of the towing is more expensive than my entire vehicle. They should credit us with some intelligence. So that is not true. He also spoke about the fact that they are going to ensure that the contractor works. Israel, we know that this is a monopoly. And when you started questioning him, it came back to the same person he said has the capacity to do it. Not only one Ghanaian has the capacity to do it. The contract was structured in such a way that it favored one person. That one person imported vehicles and was ahead of everyone else. So it is not going to be competitive. Two, in 2017, when the contract was didn't go through, why did the contractor, that's the Jospon Group, why did they go to park their towing vehicles at the motorway area? The vehicles are parked there. Is it because the danger eventually just vanished? No, the danger is there. Deploy these vehicles along the streets from Accra to Kumasi, Accra to Cape Coast, Kumasi to Bolga, Accra to Aflao. If any vehicle breaks down, Jospon, go and tow it and charge. If the person does not pay, we will sell the vehicle, we will auction it, and give you your money. Because people are not prepared to work, they just want to make money. They want to use this approach. And let me add by saying that he mentioned about the enforcement, that they are going to ensure that the contractor works. I have done a lot of reports about this contractor in this country. When Jospon is giving contracts of this nature, the assemblies, they said that, well, some of the assemblies have problems of paying and other things. So District Assembly's Common Fund should be deducted as source and paid for the fumigation, sanitation improvement package, and the sweepers contract. So all the 260 assemblies in Ghana, they make them pay from their common fund so that sanitation problems will be dealt with. let him go and take every copy of the District Assembly's Common Fund audit report, the Auditor General's report on the District Assembly's Common Fund. I challenge him to pick each one of them, and each one of them contains infractions, multiple ones. The contractor doesn't do the work, he is paid. That is the nature of JOSPON. That is the nature of this contract. Nothing is going to change.
All right.
And I think that those of them who are at the helm of affairs should be prepared to use their brains instead of the cheap way of extorting money, robbing the Ghanaians, and giving it to people who are just there to make money.
All right, Manasseh, thank you very much for your intervention. And one of the things you kept on making reference to JOSPON, we don't know that for a fact. For now, the National Road Safety Authority is saying that they're going to open it up. So
when you asked him, that is what it finally ended.
All right.
He said, well, if one person has the capacity, then is the person not a Ghanaian?
Okay.
And that has always been, the policy was skewed from day one. And the contract was given to one person. From that we know it is not any hidden secret.
All right. But one of the things he said, which I'm happy about, at least let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're saying that they're opening it up. Let's continue to bring ideas. Yes. So there are those who are saying that let's have, instead of actually thinking about road towing the vehicles, let's have pit stops so that people can move their vehicles there close enough so that eventually they can get it fixed.
I think that is just one of them.
Yeah.
That is one of them. It's a good initiative. I support 100% mandatory towing. If my vehicle breaks down and I don't tow it early enough, somebody should tow it. I have to pay for the towing charge and also pay for the delay. So I support that 100%.
All right.
But people should be made to earn the money they are given.
All right.
We shouldn't just punish everybody, take money fraudulently and give it to a few people who then share it behind the scenes. This is what I'm against.
All right.
And if you listen to the people who called, almost every single one of them is against it.
It's true. It's true. All right. Thank you very much, Manasseh, for your intervention. So one of the things that's come up strongly is why the system that we have at the moment, your only challenge you have is that we're having people who, when they send their vehicles to the police stations or wherever, after it's been towed, the people refuse to come for their vehicles. And everybody else is saying, yes, let's auction them. Okay? If it's the vehicle, you can't expect a vehicle to be less than 20,000 cedis. Okay. I mean, the cheapest vehicle, even if the vehicle is scrap, it should be at least 20,000 or thereabout, even 10,000. Okay? So we should auction these vehicles, and whichever entity is involved.
I think that if I am Minister of Transport, or you, and you have any Ghanaian who is capable of doing this work and is ready to say that I will tow it, if the owners don't come to take over a period of 6 months, go through all the procedures and get my money for me, you will say yes.
One person also suggested that if the 6 months is taking too long,
let's say even if it is 3 months.
Let's make it 3 months.
Let's make 3 months.
So that the
Any
vehicles can
Ghanaian
be auctioned within that.
thinks that he can do it, having invested a lot of money into this, and is ready to wait for 3 months and take his money, bring a proposal. Go to the ministry, sit with the minister, and if it is acceptable, we can handle it. But what I'm saying is that currently, we haven't had anybody come in with that proposal.
All right.
And so it is a difficult area to go.
Have you made that proposal?
I think that, you see, with Manasseh's input, fine. We are here to judge and think through what we can do next to make some changes. It's good. He's shared his view, and it's fine. I appreciate. But you see, we are not here to talk about contracts or talk about any individual, for that matter. It is history now. Now we're moving forward. How do we do it better this time? And what we are saying is that if the impression at the time was that it was skewed to one person, we're saying no. We insisted that it wasn't. But now, the opportunity is there for every Ghanaian, whoever has the capacity, that if the suggestion is that go through some procurement, open up, let others also demonstrate that they have the capacity, then we would have cleared that impression that people had at first. And so that is why you said you're happy about that. So it's good. There'll be transparency. And everybody will see whoever takes out that responsibility and assigned to do it would have done it with that credibility for all of us Now, it is the issue of whether or not we accept that levying and so on. There are some other things we call ancillary works. It is not just only the towing we are talking about. We are talking about removal of other obstructions, physical obstructions. For example, if there is an accident vehicle, or a vehicle crosses the road, for that matter, falls over and crosses the road, sometimes you can see a queue of vehicles, because until you remove it, nobody can move.
Yeah.
In this case, it has become disabled. Somebody must tow it. It's an accident vehicle. It comes under this whole project, which we call ancillary works. If there should be a billboard, for that matter, that has fallen, and somebody must remove it, it goes under this project.
All right.
If there is a falling tree, which has happened a couple of times, a tree will fall and cross the road completely. You may not even have a chainsaw or something to go and cut that particular tree. It comes under this project. So we're trying to package it in a manner that, apart from towing, which is just one thing, other ancillary works that will require some emergency response, intervention, as far as road safety is concerned, can be packaged under this project so that we have the road to be free.
One thing that Manasseh said, and I tend to agree with him, he says, let's still take with Road Safety Management Limited, which is a company that currently does the towing. Can't we have them deploy their vehicles all across the town? I mean, the country, so that when there's a need for them, they go and tow. And I want to believe that they have the capacity to say, okay, we can wait for 3 months to have our monies paid. If our monies, if we're not getting that paid, then let's auction the vehicle. And I'm sure they'll be more than happy to auction those vehicles. Is it a proposal you've made to them?
Well,
so that we don't have to come back to this conversation.
I think that is what is in the law, the previous law, not the current law. The law, the LI 2180, regulations 102 to 105, addresses this whole thing through levying. But the law before then was what you are talking about currently. It was not working. That is because we have made all that.
Why was it not working?
Because of what I told you, that they were not prepared to wait for 3 months even to take their monies. They weren't. And I was surprised that people could leave their vehicles for that long because they were unable to pay 3,000 or 4,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, so as we said, auction them.
And there are some that are also not.
And if you auction, if you're auctioning so that they get more. So it essentially becomes a penalty. So if you're supposed to pay 3,000, if you don't come and pay in a month, it goes to 6,000. If you don't pay in 2 months, it goes to 9,000. Eventually, after 3 months, they decide that let's auction the vehicle. If you auction the vehicle, whatever value you get, you give it to the...
So that is why we say we have opened up. Let's discuss it. If the majority of Ghanaians will say that let's go that direction, then so be it. That is how we'll then go and review the regulation. Now, there's another problem involving these international vehicles flying through Ghana to other countries. Now, most of them use our harbors, carry all the stuff on our highways to Burkina, Niger, Mali, and so on. You know what happens? They don't have this particular law in their laws. It means that in subscribing to our laws, there may be some international protocols, for that matter, brown cards and all sort of things. It's also time-consuming because our foreign agencies will now have to discuss with their foreign agencies. So I'm saying that perhaps Manasseh is saying he goes 100% with what you are suggesting and what most of the people we're listening to are saying. If that is the case, then we should have an individual or a group who will say, we are ready. We can do that and wait for 3 months, 6 months to collect our money, if only it will go through the process, which means that for an individual to pay, you may pay something higher than the 150 and the 5 cedis we are talking about.
Yeah.
But yes, that's fine.
So whoever gets his vehicle broken down is going to pay for it.
So it's an option.
All right.
We're carrying all these things along to go and discuss.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a few more people calling. We have Esiedu calling from Oyarifa. Esiedu, what fantastic idea are you bringing to the table? Hello, Esiedu. All right, we seem to have lost Esiedu. Do we have George from Brekum?
Yeah.
All right, George.
Good morning, he's right.
Good morning.
Yeah, my regards to Mr. Adantin too, and then your listening.
All right.
Yeah, I'm grateful for this program, but I have two questions to Mr. Adante.
All right.
I want to know if an authority is given a budget. What do they use the budget for? Two, is it suggesting that aside levying Ghanaians for this program, there cannot be any other avenue such as dualizing our high streets and making sure, I remember Professor Mills procured certain towing vehicles. So where are these vehicles and why do we have to levy Ghanaians again for something I believe almost all the time Transport Ministry and their authority is given a budget? What do they use the budget for?
All right. Thank you very much, George. So George has two questions. He's asking about the budgets that is giving the National Road Safety Authority, what they use it for. And he also makes reference to towing vehicles that were imported and...
budget lines are defined. Every MDA or MMDA is required by law and procedures to submit your bills, and so there are line items. We do the education, we do research, we do monitoring.
So it's not for towing vehicles?
So there is no budget line for removal of disabled vehicles.
All right.
Otherwise, I think that is what perhaps he's suggesting, which means that we should put in a budget line. For example, I just left Sierra Leone for a road safety conference. Their road safety authority, they call it Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority, have invested in towing. They have bought a couple of these resources, equipment, and they are doing the towing themselves. They charge themselves. But in their case, they have an enforcement unit, like the MTTD within their authority.
Okay.
So if government should say, bring a budget line, National Road Safety Authority, and it is 100 million Ghana cedis, for example, so that procure and do it yourself is also an option. That's what we are expecting people to come with.
We have Yusuf from Nungwa. Hello, Yusuf.
Morning, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, my point is, DVLA, I think they are more interested in making money than road safety. Because if this is a national agenda, I think the government should intervene. At least the government should get 10 trucks for every region, so that towing will be affordable for the ordinary Ghanaian. Now, if you are towing a car at a high price and the fellow cannot afford it for the day, I think you can't help it. Government should be interested in the safety than the money they are making from that initiative. That's my suggestion.
All right, thank you.
Government should intervene so that it will be affordable for the ordinary Ghanaian.
All right.
Because to option somebody's truck or car, while he have no money to even pay for the towing, I think it's too high for that. So the option, I don't support the option. The auction.
Thank you.
We should rather make it affordable for the ordinary Ghanaian.
So government should pay for it. Government should pay for it. Okay, thank you, Yusuf. We have Charles from East Legon. Hello, Charles. Hello, Charles.
Tommy from Ashanti.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please speak up.
Okay. I've listened to the program, but I've noticed that the resource person has not been truthful to us.
Oh,
because,
how?
Yes. At the beginning of the program, he said there's no plan so far. It's like they have not yet.
He says, yeah, let's have a conversation about it.
Pardon me?
No, he says, let's have a conversation about it. But later on, yes, he comes to a point where he says they have a plan in place, right?
Yes, that's why I have the problem. Initially, he said we should have conversation and at the end of the day, come up with what would be good for us. But along the line, that if the plan is already there, they've already processed everything.
All right.
And that's why I have a problem.
Okay.
It doesn't help that way.
Okay.
Secondly, we know there are contractors who work for government and wait for 5 years. I know there's no business venture without risk. I am not sure that businessmen waiting for 3 months or 6 months, that is if the car owner refuses to turn up. I'm not sure that would be a reason for them not to venture into this kind of business.
Yeah.
After all, as we are asking, how many of the what is the percentage of the of the vehicles that remain at wherever they are parked without the owner issuing us.
Okay.
So I don't buy this one either.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And you're going to be our last caller. So, yes, he said he makes a point. I mean, government owes contractors sometimes years. Yes. So why would we say that?
Are you sure the contractors are happy?
No, they are not happy.
They're not happy.
But yeah, but
they go into debt. Sometimes they come and seize their products. They seize even their facilities. They seize their houses. Some people even die out of it. There are so many of them who had stroke in their homes.
The point he's making is, well, if you have to wait.
So they are not happy. So it is a better way of doing it. Or otherwise, as I said, I told him, well, he said we have a plan. Why should we have a plan? We are an authority, and we have options, and we have planned for all the options.
So you have a plan, but what you're saying that you're open to ideas.
Exactly.
So if people come and say, okay, this plan is not working, let's have another plan, you're cool with it.
Manasseh, we are intelligent people out there. And it is not like we are there doing nothing. We care for humans. We see the problems. We want to solve them. We have asked government to give us an authority status so that let's amend the laws in a manner that we can protect human beings. Now, we are not looking at any individual anywhere. We are not looking at making money, no, revenue. We are making efforts to minimize the risk that we face on the road so that you don't die, I don't die. That is what we're doing. So it's not about contracts. It's not about doing something to explore or make revenue to do what? It's about road safety. And this is a practice that if you go to the whole world, they have various models that they are applying, but depending on the country's culture, acceptability, the people's way of adaptations and so on. It's happening.
All right.
As I'm saying, go to the US. If you know a company called AAA, it is happening. So we are also looking at the Ghana model. When we started this, there were countries who wanted to come and understand.
So with the AAA, you subscribe?
Yeah, you subscribe. Yeah. And AAA determines how much he will charge you and the kind of service he will provide. If you want it, you sign. But it is mandatory that every vehicle owner must subscribe to somebody. So people have opened companies and they are doing advertisement, promotion, marketing to attract more people and provide services to them.
All right.
If we want it that way. But somebody must pay for.
Sure.
Somebody must pay for. It is not a service for free.
So it's a conversation that we'll continue to have. Yes. How do people contribute? So this was a conversation we had for just about an hour. Yes. But as you're saying, you're open to ideas. How can people reach out to you with their ideas?
Okay. At the moment, we are when we met at the workshop, well, the ministry gave various ways of people reaching to us. If you have any proposal, write officially to the Ministry of Transport.
All right.
Or get closer to any National Road Safety Authority office. We are in all the 16 regions. And you can also walk into our office, discuss with us. We document it. We get your contact, sign it, and it becomes part of the inputs that we put conversation.
How much time are you giving yourself to eventually say, we're going ahead with it?
In fact, before the end of this year, this proposal, together with others, would have to go to Parliament.
Before the end of
this year. The airline must go to Parliament because it is something dear to us. We need to review the airline so that we can go on the ground. 2,126 deaths. It's not acceptable.
So before the end of the year, expect it to go to Parliament. When do you expect it to be implemented?
We're giving ourselves up to the middle of November to receive all these comments ideas and concepts and so on, inputs. And then by end of November, we should be seeing ourselves moving to Parliament with this.
So it goes to Parliament, essentially you're giving yourself maybe next year, January, to implement it?
Yes, that's the target.
All right.
That's the target. So we are taking advantage of this opportunity to let all Ghanaians, this is Ghana, we are all not comfortable with the rate of deaths and injuries, damage to our properties on the road. The opportunity has come. Share your views. Tell us something.
Okay.
We have proposed so many options. We thank those of you who have already started pouring in and those who called. Yeah. You care for Ghana. We also care for Ghana. We are very intelligent people. We are experts in our own fields. And we are doing everything possible that Ghana can be among the frontliners when it comes to safety management in Africa and even across the world.
All right. Thank you very much, David Adonting. David Adonting is with the National Road Safety Authority, and we've had a very engaging conversation. I didn't know that you out there were so excited about the conversation, but from the calls that we got and the people who called in, I can tell they were very excited about it. So let's keep the conversation going. And we're still on the AM show. Don't go away. We have more coming up. All right, so we're counting down to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, which is in partnership with EcoBank and powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats. It's under the theme Home Ownership to Build or to Buy. And Elegant Homes and General Construction Limited and Anki's Home Decor, they are some of our key sponsors for this year's fair. Dorothy Kwashi is Executive Director of Elegant Homes, and she joins us here in the studio this morning. Good morning to you once again. And it's lovely to see you anytime you come in, because when you come in, you're coming to show us nice homes and beautiful decor and all of that. So briefly tell us about your experience from the 3-minute clinics that we had at the various malls.
Okay, thank you. The 3-minute clinics has been very good this year. I don't know whether it's because of COVID and people have been home for a very long time. But basically, the Achimota Retail Center was the top of it all.
Okay.
We moved to West Hills. It wasn't bad. And then to the Junction Mall. I think this is the first time we've had a mini clinic at the Junction Mall. And it was also great. So we're looking forward to the main event, and see how that will go. And then thankfully this year, it's been extended to 5 days instead of the normal 3 days. So we hope it will work better for us. Okay,
so very much looking forward to the 5 days of the main fair. Now, as we prepare for the main event, as you indicated, which is from the 28th October to 1st November, what should patrons expect from Elegant Homes?
Well, they should expect great deals. And normally what we do for the main event is that we put up a model house kind of, touch it very well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, fix our windows, and it looks very, very, very great. So they should look out for it. I know last year they missed it, but this year we are coming with that. We are coming with our nice homes, models, our nice windows, and as usual, our discounts.
You're essentially bringing your lovely homes to the Accra International Conference Center.
A mini model. It's just a mini model.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we're very much looking forward to that. Okay, so what properties, products, or services will be on offer at the fair, as well as any sales promotions?
Yeah, we will normally show our houses, 3, 4, and 5-bedroom houses. We will show our high-quality UPVC windows as well. And then we're given a 10% discount if you buy from us. In addition, you get a free remote control gate and garage. You get a central ceiling speaker as part of the deal. And you get a video doorbell and many more.
Okay. But one of the things you say is your unique selling point is the ambience in the communities. So give the people a feel of it.
I saw some pictures rolling.
Yeah.
And I also want patrons to know that the pictures that are rolling out are not 3Ds. They are real houses that have been put up there. And then our unique architectural designs. The good thing is that when you come to Elegant Homes, you have variety of house types to see. We don't do the mass one where you have the same house type, the same paint color. No. You see different types of designs, different type of house types. And then one good thing is that prospective homeowners or prospective buyers can also request that we do something specifically for them.
Right.
In that case, we design and build to suit your taste. You have the option to choose any finishing material that you want. Your paint color, you can choose anything depending on your pockets.
Right, so in one of the photos that we've been rolling on the screen, I see a vehicle in there. Does it come with the house, please? This one, does it come with the house?
That's the CEO's car.
All right, but your closing comments and you share your contact numbers as well.
Okay. Before the main event, if you want to contact Elegant Homes, You can reach us on 0244 699 053 or 057 659 7419. You can also visit our website www.eleganthomesgh.com or send us an email via sales@eleganthomesgh.com. You can also call us and visit the site. We encourage patrons to visit, come and see what we have. All that you are seeing are real. They are not 3D, as I've said. Come, visit us, look at what we have, and then we can talk.
All right. Thank you very much. Dorothy Kwashi is the Executive Director of Elegant Homes and General Construction, and they're one of the sponsors for the Ecovang Journeys Habitat Fair, which is happening. The main event is taking place from the 28th to the 1st of November this year. So do make a date and be part. But as she's saying, you should also pass by the site. Where exactly is it again?
We are located at Katamanso of the Adenta Dodowa Road.
Okay. So yeah, you can pay them a visit and get to have a feel of the ambience. So stay tuned in to the AM show.